Hey everyone, my name is Megan and welcome back to What's Your Why. I'm so excited about tonight's interview because I feel like I spend so much of the time interviewing strangers, which I love, but then I get lucky enough to get to interview my friends sometimes. And tonight I'm going to share a chat that I had with my friend Patrick, who is one of the people I look up to most in life. I really do feel like we could learn so much from Patrick's journey. I say that every week, but I mean it every time I say it. But yeah, just sit back and enjoy.
When I go to introduce myself, or if someone, tell us a bit about yourself, I wouldn't have a notion, what to say. Um, so I would just, even maybe for you today, start with today. When I got up, I went straight to the sea, um, and I think I'm a person that needs that, gets a lot from just going there for a little while in the morning. And that's kind of myself with nature or the cold or something outside. And then straight after I swim, I met an owl fella who was walking the dog, and we had a chat for 10 minutes about nothing. And I think they're two very connected and different sides of myself. One being, okay, I need to just go and be quiet and listen and swim. And then afterwards, I want to laugh with someone about something small. And I think, even though I suppose the normal answer to introduce yourself would be like, I'm Patrick and I'm this age and I live here and I like this. I find it more interesting to say something other than that. So yeah, there's your introduction.
And if that's a bit of a sense of like who you are, like give us a sense of how you're doing.
I'm good. Like I'm laughing a lot. I'm trying to make myself laugh at least once a day, which is never something I thought of trying to do before. And I think I'm very different to how I was a year ago. I'm not sure I'd be able to describe to you actually how, or exactly how. I think I'm looking for less advice off everyone. For probably 15 years, I was quite convinced that someone out there has the answer for me, or some way to heal something, or some way to show me where to go. And I think I spent a huge amount of energy looking for them, or looking for that.
I'd love just to get a sense of like where you're at in life right now.
Well, we work together, so that would be a few days a week working with you or with other people with teenagers in schools. That's one big part of my week. The other, and it's funny, like my head was like, okay, and the next thing is this and that and the other, but I think I'm almost counting things that don't necessarily seem, they're not careers, but they're where I'm at. Building a stone wall out the back garden, that's not a career, or it's not a job in the traditional sense, but it's important. There's something there that I have to do that. And it might be to write about it afterwards, or it might be to learn something when I'm doing it. But that's almost as big a part of where I'm at now as going to work with you. And music's a funny one, because it's probably the I don't know, if you imagine like a person as a circle, like a little pie chart. Like music is a huge chunk of it, or writing or playing. But I think I lost my way with it for a few years, and then I abandoned it altogether for a couple of years, and now I'm coming back to it, which is great. But I want to make sure, and I have made sure that when I'm going back, it's a different route into it. I had pressure put on it for it to do something for me. I think I veered a bit away from playing music for music's sake. There's this fella, do you know Brendan Begley? He's a musician from Kerry, and he's a teacher. He teaches local kids as well, and he says to them, don't practice, but just play music all the time. And I need, for music to work for me, I have to go it that way.
When does your heart feel most connected to music?
I've had times where, like, if I'm writing, there'd be a connection with music there in terms of, oh, this is what you actually feel, and this is the most direct way for you to hear yourself telling yourself that. So I've had that connection with it, or I would have that connection with it. And it's then nice to almost listen back or read back over what you wrote. And then there's the side of it that will connect you to other people because of music.
Tell us about that a little bit.
If you're not relying on words so much, or you're not relying on questions and answers so much, it can be very easy. And like, maybe there's a reason that lullabies are sung to babies, do you know? Because a baby won't understand the words, but it could feel what you're meaning to say to the baby. And I don't mean like if you sing it beautifully, or if you, none of that, but if you can just let what you want to say come out of you in this kind of magical language.
And how do you want people to feel when they're around the magic that you create?
Kind of whatever they want. Like, say, when you're in certain places or you're with certain people, and your guard is down, maybe, you know, without realizing it, and suddenly you're crying, or suddenly you're remembering something, or suddenly you feel a weight lifted, or suddenly you're just warm. I don't know. I would love it to bring whatever wants to come to whoever's listening to it.
It's cool to hear about like where you've come from and your journey with music, your journey as a person, your journey in the last year. Is there anything that you've learned that will stick with you for the rest of your life?
I think that I would have had a big habit of looking ahead and, okay, maybe then I'll do this. And then, you know, I very much living in a time that didn't even exist yet, and might or might not, but was kind of always thinking about that. Now, I'm not going to give you some fucking, oh, I would always live in the now stuff, but some version of that, some version of enjoying the dog I saw on the beach today as much, you know, as something that I had planned to do and looked forward to. I just love small moments like that. It's not a thing where I just fucking walk around and I see that, and you know, it's, I have to, you know, set it up for myself to do it. And I think that's what the sea is about. I think that's what getting into the water is about. Like, I don't wake up and go, oh fuck, I can't wait to jump in the ocean. I've learned enough times of what happens when I don't. make an effort to do that. And I think that this thing of, okay, do a few things that will, you know, get you alive. And then whatever's coming, whether it's something you want to create that day, or if it's someone that needs you to listen to them that day, just go for it.
What's your why?
I'm just laughing because I should have presumed this question would come, but I totally forgot about it. I think that my why is aliveness, and whatever way that's coming, and I mean that both for myself and for others. I want to embrace whatever's there, whatever's coming in an alive way. It's kind of simple, but that's my way.